another episode of Hard Factor presented by the Barstool News Network. It is Thursday, June 25th, 2020. And Pat, welcome back to the show. How's the beach going?
Oh, it's so beachy, except they shut down parasailing. There's no parasailing because of social distancing regulations, which makes no sense to me.
Isn't that the thing where you're up in the air? It seems like you're very far away from people.
It's also something I've never done in my life and would really like to do.
Yeah.
But not this summer.
Well, I guess
Not
you'd have
this
the
summer.
instructor breathing on you, no matter how.
No, but oh yeah, like you think like when he's teaching you
Why
how to
can't
not
he?
die.
Why can't he yell the instructions to you from like 8 to 10 feet away?
It's a great
and
point, Mark.
And isn't it like a skydive? They have to tandem you the first time, right? Or do you just go on your own?
Oh no,
Yeah,
I don't
but I
think
assume you could show up with someone else who you're quarantined with.
And,
So. Well, they would have to have been experienced.
and then they just
probably.
let you get on the apparatus of death and just fly into the sky?
Well, luckily, if you fall, you're just falling into the ocean.
Yeah, it's true. They
Or
do
a
it. They do it
building
on
or sand.
right. You could get smashed into a building.
If you get real
with
unlucky,
the wind can blow you inland. They just the way they get around is they have an unmanned boat. It's just like a boat out of control.
Oh, yeah, it's a drone boat.
Yeah.
So they have no liability. That'd
Yeah.
be good. Yeah, well, so
I
today,
don't know.
today's stories, fellas, got some fun ones, but also some not so fun ones, which Pat's going to start us off with. Corona, Pat, get us going.
All right, guys, huge news for you coronavirus fans out there. The triumvirate of East Coast governors got together yesterday and announced that if you want to come to New York, New Jersey, or Connecticut, and you're from a state that doesn't believe in the coronavirus or thinks masks are gay, then you will be required to quarantine for at least 2 weeks before you go out in New York, New Jersey, or Connecticut.
Oh.
What states are on there?
We're going to get to that. In
So
New
they'll
York,
let you fly in, but then you have to sit in their state for 14 days before you can go on the street.
Exactly. Yeah. In New York, Cuomo said those violating the quarantine could be subject to a judicial order and mandatory quarantine, in addition to fines of $2,000 for the first violation, $5,000 for the second, and $10,000 for if you cause some sort of harm.
How the hell do you enforce this? Do you just basically you get a fine added on if you're from out of state or something?
Snitches, Willie, snitches. You remember that kid that went to Hawaii right when the coronavirus thing was nuts in New York City? He flew out and then he didn't quarantine. He started posting on social media. Remember that? Yeah, it's like
Not
that.
really.
Aren't we snitching on you right now because you did this, right?
Yeah, no, but the thing is, I can come home to Texas.
Are you
I'm already
you're grandfathered in because you arrived like 2
grandfathered.
days
You beat
before the ban?
it by 3 days.
Yeah, big time. Now, the thing is, if I leave, I can't come back. So what are you gonna do? Unless I quarantine.
Well, you're just going to stay in New Jersey forever?
No,
you live
I'm
in
coming-
Austin, Texas.
Well,
I'm
technically,
coming home on Saturday.
Technically, you have to quarantine every time you travel, right? Or you have to like
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
I have
do.
a theory. I have a theory here. I think that Cuomo heard the podcast 2 days ago,
Oh.
and that's why he came down with this decision. I think this is the Pat ruling.
I know that he's a fan of the show.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
well,
he's like,
and
enough
we're-
is enough.
When
Pat's
I saw
the
those
cutoff.
nip rings on Cuomo, I figured he could be a part of the hive.
You knew he was kindred. Guys, the states on the fence on admitting that something you can't see is real, other than Jesus, of course, are Alabama, Arkansas, Arizona, Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina, Washington, Utah, and Texas.
Nice.
So
Oh,
those are the ones that are on the list.
I'm sure Texas and Florida are in bright red bold at the top.
Big time, guys. In a true display of
You're
leadership.
hang on. I'm not letting you off the hook, Swayze. You're poking fun at the people. You said you used the terminology calling people that think masks are gay, and then you're making fun of them for the invisible thing.
Oh, I mean that's true. You have been traveling nonstop.
You're the subject
Gentlemen.
of
This is the
of this ruling.
anti-Pat law.
You're the one that
Gentlemen.
keeps traveling to New York.
It's
Gentlemen.
Yeah.
I'm grandfathered in. In a true display of leadership, President Trump let everyone know that the rules were for civilians, and he's not a civilian, so he will not be following them.
like you.
Because he's not.
Like you.
Well, no, I will follow them.
Well,
now that they've been decreed.
I mean-
Yeah, because he's not a civilian, guys, and he has important non-civilian golfing to do in New Jersey this weekend. Side note, the president is a civilian, so I don't know where he got confused there, but he
I was
going
going to ask, what is he if he's not a civilian?
A civilian. Big time.
Commander-in-Chief.
Yeah, still a civilian. Then.
I'm
yeah.
sure.
Speaking of bans, guys, the EU
Good point,
is
Phil.
considering banning all American travelers, which is terrible, specifically and selfishly for my pocketbook. And
well, I mean, look at
we'll
you
explore
though.
later.
But look at you though, Pat, because I mean
What about me?
You're the case study. Why they don't want you coming over there? We're just talking about it. You're going back and forth. There's already a
your Texas
national
germs
travel
and
ban.
you're partying in the state that's trying to. Yeah.
They're saying like, dude, I don't want that. I don't want these. I don't want.
Hey guys,
these.
I've gotten 2 coronavirus tests and negative, and I'll get a third, and it'll be negative. And I'm not one of.
Hang on, knock on wood. There's wood. Knock on the wood behind you.
Hey, look, they didn't put these rules into place until yesterday. Okay, I can't.
No, I know. I understand. I understand.
Can't govern me
but they put
on
them
rules
into
that
place.
didn't exist.
They put them into place
You're
because
just a
of
big
people
time
like you.
You're just a big time freedom guy. You want to exercise all your freedoms when you have them. So I
Guys,
get it.
you very well know it's more complicated than that, and we'll get into it another time.
Hey, look, I agree with you. I support you, but I also think that you're an adult. But I also think you should lay off of the people that own businesses that you attack for not wanting to have the economy shut down and the quarantine, and you should lay off the people that want to go out because you yourself go out and you yourself travel.
Guys. Let's get back to why Cuomo. Why is Cuomo saying no Texas, no North Carolina, no Utah, no other states that believe in Jesus but don't believe in coronavirus? It's because they don't believe in fucking coronavirus. They're not doing this to states that are putting forward proper measures. Okay, that's the point. It's the states that don't give a shit. It's the states that don't give a shit that they're banning. That's the point.
But you don't give a shit is the whole point. You're traveling.
I do give a shit. I've been rocking a mask and not leaving my house for fucking months.
All right.
You've traveled like for multiple weeks during the lockdown more than any of the rest.
No, I traveled twice during the lockdown.
I mean,
and I got coronavirus tests on either side of it, and I quarantined, motherfucker. Let me.
I would say you
story.
travel probably more than the average bear during the lockdown, right?
Yes. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. If every single human being in the United States did what you've done, do you think it would be a good thing or a bad thing?
It would be a bad thing.
Yes.
But again,
you're
it's
a special case.
Okay. And I don't want to get into it on the show, but it's more complicated than that. So anyway, okay, guys.
It's not life or death. But all right.
Yeah, man. Right. Yeah, okay. Again, you're goading me because I don't want to get into it on the show, but it is a little more complicated. Okay, speaking of bans, the EU is considering banning all American travelers, which I said is terrible for me personally and my pocketbook personally, which we'll get into at a later date. But those fucking bastards at the EU have the nerve to potentially throw Americans into the same category as Russians and Brazilians. And that would have been nice if it was pot one in the 2018 World Cup.
We're being too flashy with our freedom, You got to be a little bit more authoritarian and locking down your citizens if you want to be cool with the EU. Australia.
That's true.
Bolsonaro, yeah. Anyway, guys, speaking of the EU, the UK is giving them another reason for them to desperately not want UK to Brexit. And that's because human trials of a new vaccine have led by Professor Robin Shattuck and his colleagues at the Imperial College of London have begun. So this could be great, or it could end up in an American Werewolf in London situation. We'll keep you updated.
Oh, that would be bad. What if it turned into like a super mutant-y species of people that can give you the coronavirus?
It would be very bad.
Yeah.
And finally, guys, the most magical place on Earth is getting a swift kick in its gender-neutral genital area as more than 7,000 employees of Disney World have signed a petition letting the evil empire know that they are not comfortable with the park reopening next month.
That's a good amount of employees.
How many employees does Disney have total?
70,000 they employ total.
So 10%.
10% signed the petition. That's ballsy.
Yeah, I will say, guys, I looked through maybe 6 or 7 different news sources, and it all said 7,000 employees in the headline, but didn't really indicate whether it was employees in the article. No one really had a direct reference. So there could be something a little bit off about that.
Big difference between 7,000 people signing a petition for Disney World reopening and 7,000 employees.
Pat, I got a question, though. Considering all that's transpired during this story, is the plan now to just fly straight from where you are to Europe before the lockdowns totally close?
It wouldn't help me at all. It wouldn't help me at all. I need a lot of people to be able to go to Europe later.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, from America.
I was thinking that maybe you could keep keep like you're like the guy that's like
Staying
traveling ahead of the
endless
time
summer.
zone. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
You gotta start. You gotta start rooting for that vaccine. You should be pumped about the human trials.
I'm
in the UK.
pumped.
Go
Yeah, no,
for
Willie,
human
warp
trials.
speed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Willie, this is very similar to how freshman year you and I won the national championship in Division One A football, and then sophomore year I transferred to JMU, and they won the national championship in 1AA football.
Yeah.
Because of a clerical error, I was without college my junior year.
That'd be like going
And
to
I-
a different world and then.
Well, hold
it
on.
happening
I almost
again,
transferred to Bridgewater College, which was down the street, which is
Did they win something?
Division 3, and they won the national championship. Had I gone there, I would have been a
would-
Sports
I would
Illustrated
like to-
cover boy.
Yeah, you're really. I would just like to say for the record, you're like the opposite of Donnie does. You're like chasing the virus instead of running away from it. But
Well, I like to think of it as like Carmen Sandiego, who is traveling everywhere right before the lockdown rules. You're grandfathering yourself in. So what Pat's
Try and
doing?
find me, Will.
He's what he's doing. He's grandfathering himself into every single location
smart.
on
That's
the globe, and then you can go wherever you want. You're grandfathered in.
You'll never find me, guys. I do leave clues everywhere I go. But guys, I never got Disney World. Did you guys ever get Disney World? Like the movies are enough, but why do you have to go waste your money in a hot swamp? Like, especially those freaks that have their fucking weddings there. Have you guys seen that show?
I never went as a
Disney
kid,
Weddings?
unfortunately. Thanks, Mom and Dad.
Really?
But I went as an adult to Epcot and drank around the world, and that's a lot of fun.
I did a Florida. Yeah, you went as adult. Went as a like high schooler, and I mean, I don't know. You could just get really sunburned. It seems like everybody's upset with their children, and then there's people that are drunk and having fun.
You
but
have-
they, yeah.
You have a horrible time unless you go to Epcot and drink around the world. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I would do a Looney Tunes wedding though. Not a Disney one though. Yeah. Anyway, guys.
Does everybody
Universal-
get those spray painted shirts?
No,
at the end of the
no
Looney Tunes?
guns at that Looney Tunes wedding.
100. Yeah, no, the cake would be Acme Dynamite, sticks of dynamite. It'd be shaped like that. Anyway, guys, Universal Studios, Disney's competitor, is already open. Just a little.
Oh, okay. Good for them. All right, guys, I have a protester bloopers update double for you. See, not all the protesters who are tirelessly bringing awareness to a broken system of systematic racism are geniuses. There's some chazzers out there. First up, this one was submitted by PFITS, and in Madison, Wisconsin, protesters tore down 2 statues recently at the state capitol, one of which was a statue of Hans Christian Heg. He was a Wisconsin.
He sounds terrible. He
does. I think that's the point. He was, though, a Wisconsin abolitionist who died trying to end slavery during the Civil War. But I can see the confusion, Will.
They see the German name. They're just like, I'm going for it.
Right.
Shut him
Hans,
down.
He's either a Nazi or like the bad guy from Die Hard. That's instantly the first 2 things you think of when you think of Hans. Instead, this Hans was a member of the Free Soil Party, which was centered around opposing the expansion of slavery into the Western United States. And he was a leader of Wisconsin Wide Awakes way back then, which was an anti-slave catcher militia. Oh, wow. So then he defeated a number of Confederate armies, leading his brigade in battles in Kentucky and Tennessee. And then he later died fighting for the Union.
That's pretty impressive.
So probably
Dude,
a
the
statue
Wide
that should have
Awakes-
stayed up. Yeah,
The Wide Awakes sounds fucking awesome.
Yes, the Wide Awakes.
Fighting slave catchers? How did they not made a movie out of that
So
yet?
these numbnuts in Wisconsin and Madison tore down the statue of the leader of the Wide Awakes.
That's a shame.
Yeah. I personally don't give a shit about statues. But
He died young, too, it looks like. He died at, he was born in 1829 and died in 1863.
29
Right.
to
Good
60.
point, Will. Why didn't they Google it?
Well, I mean, before you're going to tear a statue down, you just got to, just a quick search. I mean, it takes.
That name just must have been too much. Hans? Just
Yeah,
too
they
much.
just gotta go. Yeah, they just
Gotta
that's
go.
what I'm saying. It was just, and really, that was really insensitive and bigoted of them, honestly. Towards
True.
Yeah, because an Austrian or German name at that time didn't mean what it meant,
In the
100 years
Well,
later.
you never know. You just gotta,
1940s.
Google exists, guys. So you just be safe. Google it.
Second blooper story here, and I hate to call it a blooper. This one's much worse in terms of outcomes. Bradley Stein, a white South African man who fought against apartheid, was protesting in LA recently when he took a rubber bullet to the scrotum.
Oh, no.
Right to the scrotum from point blank range. He claims he witnessed police brutality, then got himself involved, and then became a victim of police brutality when cops allegedly used batons to beat him in the chest before shooting him with rubber bullets at point blank range. One of them hit him directly in the scrotum, and it got so mangled, and there's a fairly graphic photo of his junk if you want to see it, in gauze with blood stains through the gauze, that he ended up losing a testicle, guys, completely removed.
Oh, great. Why'd you do this story?
Yeah, he's going to sue the pants off the LAPD, and I would say he has a pretty strong case. If this I mean, can you imagine this getting to trial?
Sue the scrot right off him. Yeah, no, the trial is just him taking his pants off.
Right.
Yeah, like, can you imagine? He just drops his
say,
pants.
Sir, here's your giant novelty check.
Yeah, if it's a male judge, he just like averts his eyes and hits the gavel like, you win. You win.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be
the jury questions. The jury questions are going to be like, raise your hand if you love your scrotum.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that's not
easy
great.
case for him to win there. Sorry for the scrotes, though.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, okay, you all are dismissed. You ones who did not have your hands up, you can stay. You'll
It's
be
like
on the jury.
the Simpsons meme with Homer's dad where he puts his hat on the thing and he does the revolving door. The jury goes out for 2 seconds and comes right back in. He wins. He wins. Whatever he was suing for, plus $10 million.
Yeah. Plus whatever. All right. Let's move it on to a different aspect of the protest. So we've seen some police brutality in 2020. We've seen protests and riots and what comes next. All right. So first up, some progress on people involved in the killing of Ahmaud Arbery and Breonna Taylor. Arbery was shot long before the protests, but also a very bad-looking situation in Georgia. And then Breonna Taylor was the woman who was killed inside her own home in Louisville. 3 men have been indicted in the Arbery case. The 2 men who were in the truck, the one that is on video, and then the one who was driving the truck, the father and son, and then the man who was filming them. All 3 men indicted in the murder and going to be put on trial.
So, Willie, I saw this headline and I was curious, what's different now between what it was? Had they not been charged with murder?
Well, I think it had gone through some sort of process of review, basically, and then now they are going to go, like, all 3 of them are going to be defending themselves in trial. And the defendants say that the story will come out in court, which better be one hell of a story considering the video, right? I mean,
Yeah, they should probably just keep their mouths shut.
we saw him. We saw he was black. We hate him.
Right.
And we shot him dead.
That's how the video appears. So, unless there's some sort of extremely compelling evidence that it so far has not come to light, it's going to be, people stay tuned to that. It's going to be going down in Georgia. And then in Louisville, Kentucky, the officer who killed Breonna Taylor in her own home on a no-knock warrant. This is the one where I believe her and the person she was with in bed, I can't remember if they were married or not, were killed by the cops on a no-knock warrant who just fired 10 bullets into the room.
Into the wrong house, right, too? It was the wrong place.
They weren't. Yeah. It wasn't supposed to be there, right? Anyways, that officer who fired those shots has been terminated by the local police department and is at least in a civil suit for excessive force, and probably more, I would imagine.
And the unions are angry.
I would assume the person that whoever ordered that no knock with the intelligence of the wrong house should probably get in trouble too.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's so I'm going to get into that too. We'll talk a little bit about what Congress is doing next. So what else? What else can the government do besides making those initial corrections? Well, first, Trump now supports a very generous second stimulus, and he's hoping that Congress will give him that and the American people those checks. So
let's go.
Yeah, that could help a little bit. Also, maybe just cancel taxes, Chief.
Get those taxes out of there.
That would
for
be
the last
nice.
couple years too.
Shit, when is tax date's coming up soon, right?
July
15th. Don't forget, I have to do my expenses for all of 2019.
But Extension Day, guys, is like
also
coming up July 15th.
Right. Yeah. It's also Extension Day. Yeah, good news. And then
that's what I call it.
Go ahead. Yeah. What do you call it? Oh,
Extension Day. Tax Day's Extension Day. Yeah.
Right.
I call it, I'll check you later.
Yeah. And then, but more importantly than the taxes and the stimulus checks, Congress on the issue of police brutality, the Senate is of course sort of bungling it. The Democrats shot down the Republican introduced bill on Wednesday. The bill was introduced by the only black Republican, Senator Tim Scott. And the Dems want to not use that, but start with the bipartisan bill in the Senate because they don't want to be feeling like they've accepted the Republican base and then aren't going to get their amendments on it for sure. So they want to start with one that's more bipartisan.
So Congress is congressing all over this.
Right. The Senate's really going back and forth. And basically the Dems want to include measures like chokehold bans and getting rid of no-knock warrants and some other things in the original bill, not have to rely on amendments for that. So they don't want to move forward without that happening. So that's why they struck down the original Republican bill. So they're going slow, but they're doing
take your time, guys.
Yeah. Yeah, really, right? They're going slow, but they're doing their jobs, it sounds like, and hopefully the stalemate ends soon, because if this Congress can't get a police bill done by November, after everything that's happened in 2020, I think that they should all lose their jobs come election time.
I dig that. Yeah. Guys, let's talk Predict It real quick. If you like to gamble, wager, play the horses. I do. So does everyone else on this show, and our partner Predicted.org allows you to do that on news and politics. It's magnifico. And if you go to Predicted.org/promo/hardfactor20, we will give you a free $20 when you first sign up. So first time you sign up, you put $20 in your account. We'll match that 20. Come get your free 20 with us, guys. Let's talk about what markets we're liking. First of all, the polls are shifting big time with Joe Biden taking a large lead over Donald Trump in the presidential race. Now, what does this mean? We saw this happen with Hillary in 2016. We saw that worked out. So I wouldn't necessarily take your word for it. I'm not ready to commit to the polls yet as God's word. But if they are potentially going to come true, then that opens up a ton of markets on Predict It for which states are going to swing which direction, Republican or Democrat.
Well, I like those state markets. Yeah.
Yeah, they're real good. And right now I'm liking, guys, who will win the Wisconsin 2020 presidential election, Democrats or the Republicans for the presidential, and Dems at 67 cents right now. So that's
I would go Dems. Good. They're tearing down the famous abolitionist statues. That's pretty progressive. I'd say they're going to go Dem.
Yeah, 67 cents is a pretty good turnaround. But of course, how many people are going to be like infuriated by that stupid statue pull down? Yeah, you got to wonder.
Yeah, will it backfire? Or was it the Republicans? Was it the conservatives the whole time?
The only thing I mean by that is there too much time between now and November for all that?
Right. No, I like Wisconsin Democrats. Yes.
Yeah. And then another one, guys. What do you guys think about this? Will Trump grant clemency to Michael Flynn in his first term? So he's got 3 months left to grant clemency to Michael Flynn. Yes at 17, no at 83.
What does he have to do for clemency?
He was just in the news.
Clemency is essentially a pardon.
But wasn't he already basically let go? What he would get it expunged from his record, kind of? Or
I don't know. I didn't get into the rules of it.
We need to ask our lawyer interns on the clemency. We'll get back to you on that.
That was really a bigger question for the lawyer interns to make sure that they're listening.
Anyway, guys, let's predict it. Yes.
Yeah, figure it out, guys. That's predictit.org/promo/hardfactor20. Predictit.org/homo. Not slash homo. We'll get there. I mean, it's cool with us. We're all down for all people of all colors and creeds. But /promo/hardfactor20.
There you go.
There we go.
Okay, guys, I have the opposite of the end of my last story for you. Instead of the easiest lawsuit to win of all time and a sad one, I have the funniest, most frivolous lawsuit that you'll ever hear in your life for you. Thank you to Dylan on Twitter and Senator Shoshana for this gem that seems too funny to be true, but we verified it is. A man is suing Twitch, the wildly popular, mainly video game streaming service or application, because he can't stop jacking off into his fleshlight due to hot women gamers streaming.
Oh, that's a real lawsuit? You said it was real, yeah.
Yeah, Eric
and a lawyer took this one on?
56-page document filed. Eric Estavillo, a California man and self-proclaimed sex addict, that follows 780...
Well, it's not sex if you're fucking a fleshlight, is it? I mean,
sure.
Hey, Will, don't take that away from Eric.
Well, I'm just saying...
King of the incels, this guy.
Wouldn't it be more a porn addiction or
it's like self-sex. Self-sex addicts.
Flashlight made right here in Austin, Texas. I support that. I support Flashlight.
Okay, cool. So he happens to follow 786 female Twitchers and 0 males. He filed that 56-page lawsuit for $25 million against Twitch, and here are some of the excerpts from it. Article A. The plaintiff had purchased a fleshlight previously, which went largely unused until Twitch. Mr. Estavillo began using this device while he watches female Twitch streamers and often ends up chafing his penis every day with the device.
Well, Sorry, go ahead.
He could have sued Fleshlight too, right? Making it extremely painful and constant, which ends up causing redness and mild infections at the tip, since the Fleshlight is electrical and also vibrates. The plaintiff therefore often has to use Neosporin on his tip to prevent necrosis. Article B.
Poor guy.
So he needs to. So the first part of the suit is that he hurts his dick if he doesn't use Neosporin in his flashlight.
Prevents necrosis. Will. It's an
that's more
embarrassing
of just a
lawsuit.
tip.
It's an embarrassing lawsuit to be
How is
to be
that
clear.
a lawsuit?
Pro tip.
Article B. Maybe you'll find out in Article B. Article B. The plaintiff often stays up for hours staring at the breast of girl streamers, which ends up damaging his retina and making his eyes bloodshot for days. Eye drops do nothing to hide his shame from his parents, and he is often questioned by people he comes into contact with as to why his eyes are so bloodshot and red, which leads to further embarrassment and isolation. Article C. The plaintiff once ejaculated on his computer monitor, causing a short circuit and small fire within the electrical system.
This is not true.
And causing his apartment to black out temporarily.
This is not true. And I'll tell you why. From personal experience, it doesn't cause a fire.
He caused a small
I would be
fire.
dead.
He blacked out his house. His parents were like, "What are you doing?" He jerked off with his computer.
Yeah, I think I'm with Pat. This may be a comedic lawsuit. I mean, this might be
this
like
is a troll.
It could be, guys, but it was filed officially. By the way, guys, Estevillo, if you couldn't tell already, is a bit of a mess. He is a self-described sex addict, as stated earlier, who says he also suffers from depression, obsessive compulsive disorder, shit, panic
obsessively
disorder.
compulsively wrote this fake lawsuit.
No, you'll get to it. He's sued quite a few people before. He's just a lunatic. Obsessive compulsive disorder, panic disorder, agoraphobia, and tack-on Crohn's disease, guys. So he's scared to leave his house.
Guy.
He's scared to leave his house and is either on the can or jerking off to Twitch all hours of the day.
Crohn's is a hard disease.
Yeah.
But
The lawsuit goes on to name the female streamers that are causing him to jerk off to the point of infection, like Jade the Jaguar or Pink_Sparkles.
Oh, it's great for these girls. I mean, this is the best.
Huge
It's a great
press.
advertisement.
Huge press. Their
I
followers
bet
are
they
going through the
wrote
roof.
it. Probably they wrote it.
No, he's also suing Twitch for having the function of allowing for followers to donate to or pay the streamers, which he's doing pretty much every time he finishes into his fleshlight. So they're literally bleeding him dry. He hates the fucking simp feature that he can't stop giving his weekly allowance to these fucking streamers. And lastly,
Man, look, at least he's like morally sound. He's not just going to take from them, ejaculate, and then not give back to them in the form of financial
So you're
compensation.
saying
It's like the
tips,
honor system.
but he's also trying
the honor
to sue.
system.
He's also trying to sue them for the tips back.
does
and
that
more.
not? Yeah, because he can't
Well,
help
he's trying to
himself.
treat-
Does that make
yeah,
it more
but-
like sex, Will? If he
Wait,
pays
because
them?
he's trying to get the money back.
Well, no, because he pays them. Is that more of like a sex thing?
No,
for
it's
you?
still masturbation.
Still,
you can't.
still masturbation. All right.
It's like a community boat slip. You know, you go down there and it says put $5 if you're going to launch from here, and he's launching every day.
We got to
look,
get
this
this guy
guy-
on the show.
look, no,
we
look
got to get
at-
this guy on the show, but not have him kill himself because we made fun of him too
Mark,
much.
to your point, I think that this was written in this way so that he could claim to be a sex addict. But
Okay.
it's really just but it's not.
I think it's for his parents who said that keep calling him a loser. He's trying to say he's got a disorder.
Eric, you're going to have to sue them. If you're serious about this being a problem, put your money where your mouth is and hire a lawyer.
I'm not ready for dinner. Estevillo has unsuccessfully sued Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, and Blizzard in the past. So he's a gamer that can't stop.
Who is
masturbating
filing these suits? We got to look and see if it's the same attorney
I think
filing
he
the
is.
suits.
I think it's a self-filed suit.
Oh man, we'll dig in, guys. We're gonna get to the bottom of this.
Pretty good though. Hey, question: do you guys have any loved ones, unlike Estevillo, that have birthdays or anniversaries?
Of course. Everybody.
Sometimes, yeah,
Right.
of course.
It's tough
Even
to get them.
Estevillo. I mean, look, the guy is a
fair
sick
enough.
puppy, but he's not.
His parents-
He's going to be forgiven by his family. He's just,
Well, potentially all these streamers he wants to give gifts for. It's tough to get them good gifts because we're guys, right? At least I know. I don't want to speak for you guys, but I'm a shitty gift giver, which is why I was thrilled when I discovered PaintYourLife.com. We've been giving Pat a rough time for taking a vacation, which is somewhat justified, but I got him and all of us a gift as an olive branch. That's why I ordered a painting of all of us working, going to hang it up in the Hard Factor studio soon. So
you keep saying
No,
you're
you
going to get
didn't.
this thing.
No, you didn't, you piece of shit.
yeah, it totally did. You
fucking liar.
You know what else is a great thing? Yeah, it's just us at a computer. All four of us at a laptop researching stories.
Yeah.
You know what else is a great thing to get a painting of? Your pets. You can send any photo to paintyourlife.com or even combine photos. So if you have a ton of pets like a weirdo with 5 cats, you can send multiple photos. At paintyourlife.com, you can have an original painting by a world-class artist done by hand from any photo, like I said, or photos. Sounds expensive though, right? Wrong. You're wrong.
Well, I know that if you bought it, it must not be.
That's very true. Not only am I a shitty gift giver, but I'm cheap.
Not only is it affordable, very affordable, but the quality is so high. I mean, it's
well, not only is it affordable with perfect quality, Will, but we're gonna make it even more affordable with the 20% off code in just a few seconds.
My God, that's
if you.
I mean, I don't want to use the C word, but it's getting to
holy
it's
crap,
getting to the
crap.
very, very affordable territory.
What's the C word?
Well, you don't want to. Yeah, I'm not going to say it about
we don't want to say
paint your life is.
There's nothing
class.
C word about it. Yeah. If you want to give a truly meaningful gift, you've got to try paintyourlife.com. Choose from a team of world-class artists and work with them until every detail is perfect. User-friendly platforms. The user-friendly platform it has is super easy to get like a painting done with everything you need in like less than 5 minutes.
Oh, I'm looking at this pit bull on here right now.
Ooh, it looks good,
It's
right?
a good thing Wes
Yeah, I
isn't
might
on,
get.
but-
I don't even have a pit bull. We should get Wes a pit bull one.
I might have to get Jay the Jaguar painted.
That's
now
what I'm
that
saying.
After I
If
did
you got
a
a
couple
pit bull you
Googles
want
over here.
painted,
Yeah, you better be careful, Pat. You're about to be filing a lawsuit.
This is a real thing. Wait, I'm
She's
switching
hot, right?
sides. I'm switching sides over here.
It's a real story. It was a real story.
I'm Team Eric.
But you can get a hand-painted portrait of this Jay the Jaguar in less than 3 weeks from when you order it. At paintyourlife.com, there's no risk. If you don't love the final painting, your money is refunded, guaranteed. And right now, as a limited-time offer, get 20% off your painting. That's right. I'm not kidding. 20% off and free shipping. Holy shit, that's a good deal. Paint me excited. To get this special offer, text the word FACTOR to 64,000. That's FACTOR to 64,000. Text FACTOR to 64000. Paint your life. Celebrate the moments that matter most.
do it. And I mean, the quality, out of this world. All right, guys, this next one comes to us from Joseph Kruger of the Hardo Hive and Hard Factor, Mark. I saw you tweeted this out a little bit earlier.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and it's a good way to end the show, because if you thought that your day was going poorly right now, at least you're not the fucking guy in Harlem who got a kitchen knife stabbed into his head and lodged in there.
Oh no!
Yeah, on the street this week. So, guys, click that Instagram link in the notes there, and then let me know once you've seen the 5-second video. And that's right, I'll explain it. A man in Harlem survived a brutal fight with either his girlfriend or
Holy shit!
or a random stranger,
my
definitely not
fucking
his girlfriend.
God!
Yeah, Pat, he's got a head and a knife in his head.
Oh my! It looked like a fucking Halloween costume.
Yes.
No, yeah, it looks like it's CGI.
Ah!
It's crazy. The knife's literally erect, sticking out of this guy's head.
Oh!
What's worse, the scrotum rubber
The
bullet guy or
head.
this guy?
This is way worse.
This is worse. Oh shit!
This is way worse. This is horrible.
I could. Yeah, I don't know.
I made it through 3 of the 5 seconds.
Let's put a poll. Let's put a poll up.
We should
Knife
definitely
head
put a
guy
poll
or,
up. What's
or
worse,
scrotum
knife
guy.
head
Yeah.
guy or scrotum bullet guy. All right. So this dude survived, and Pat, while you were having the visceral reaction that everybody does when they see the video the first time, I was saying, like, witnesses say that it was a fight between him and his girlfriend. His girlfriend got him with the knife. But then the cops say it was a random stranger, definitely not his girlfriend, and no charges have been filed. So, depends on who you
Wow,
ask.
what a boyfriend he is! If he defended her from that, what an absolute gem of a boyfriend!
Yeah,
He's talking to the camera with a fucking knife inside his head.
yeah, he's a
And
tough son
they're
of a
not.
bitch.
No one. Someone should be tackling him and be
Yeah.
like, "Bro, you need to come with us."
The
Yeah, it looks like
paramedics are like throwing up.
It looks like he doesn't even know it's there. But apparently, it was lodged in his skull, but not fully puncturing his skull. So he was completely like fine.
Yeah, I think he lacks a brain. Is the problem?
Well, it's a good thing to have a thick skull.
Yeah,
Guys
he's got a thick skull.
Yeah.
defending his girlfriend to the knife death.
Yeah. And all right, that would be the end of the show. But I've got one last surprise for us, boys. It's from Sam Wexler in Indiana, and he's prepared something very nice for us. 1 second here.
This is not a Florida Man Friday one, huh?
Hey Hard Factor boys and Hardo Hive Harders, it's Sam from Indiana, and I've got another solid story on this week in the dumbest criminals in history. On this day in 2013, a kid got a whole lot more than he bargained for while trying to mow lawns in his neighborhood. We all have that neighbor that's really protective of their lawn or their home, but this 44-year-old in St. Louis took that to a whole new level when a kid in the neighborhood asked to mow the guy's lawn. Apparently, this homeowner took offense to that offer and proceeded to force the 13-year-old to chug a bottle of vodka against his will, and then pushed him to the ground and repeatedly kicked him in the ribs. While the kid was on the ground, the homeowner whipped out a knife and tried to stab him in both of his feet. And when the police showed up, the guy tried to steal their gun. The 44-year-old was finally subdued after a prolonged wrestling match with the feds, only to be charged with misdemeanor assault and disarming a cop. Quick question for Mark. Have you ever had to be protective of your kiddie pool in the backyard? And question for Wes. How would you handle this as a father? That's this week's Dumbest Criminals in History. Thanks, Hardos.
Wow.
Yeah.
Insert Kingpin.
He put
Woody
a music
Harrelson.
bet in. He put a music bet in this week. I like
Oh yeah,
that.
Sam and I've been Wex. He goes by Wex. All right, we've been working
All right.
on this one, and what a job, by the way. Wex.
Wax on, wax off.
Yeah, you don't mow another man's lawn.
That's
No.
right.
No, not with this guy, Mark. What
I
about?
would have a panic attack and then a physical attack if someone messed with my kiddie pool. Because then I couldn't, like, it takes a while to inflate it, then put the water in it.
But would
Like,
you go this far? Would you go
No,
this far?
I would probably just punch them until they left the yard. I would charge them and punch them until they left.
You wouldn't make him chug a bottle of vodka and then stab him in the feet?
No, just the punching, just a couple punches.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Hey,
I'll-
13-year-old, come here.
Wes isn't here, but I'll answer as an impending father. And I don't know. I probably would need to have the kid first, but I would imagine that would be pretty rage-inducing. I think you would. I think you would probably want to punch that guy pretty
To be
bad
clear-
if you were the dad.
Wex was asking if someone purposely, maliciously fucked with my kiddie pool, not if they wanted to mow my lawn for
Right.
$20.
He was saying,
That's
like,
fine.
if you were
Yeah.
the guy
Right.
and you were defending your lawn, how far would you go? And then if Wes was the dad,
I would just tell the 13-year-old to kindly fuck off if he wanted to mow my lawn because I have it covered. But
Yeah, you don't mow another man's lawn.
right.
Yeah. Would you? I mean, like, what? How would you respond to somebody who tried to mow while you were in the kiddie pool?
Oh, I would again. Depending. on
Would you
the
throw
look of the
anything at him?
Depending on the look of the person's eyes, I would have to confront them.
I would love to see that.
So I was
I'd be
nice.
stoked. I would just let them keep mowing, and then they were done. I'd be like, oh, we did not agree on a price.
Pat, when you get back to Austin, you might have to install like a hidden camera. Yeah, you might have to install a hidden camera in Mark's backyard, Pat. For
Oh, easily I could do it.
Yeah,
Well, you know I could do it.
I'm
He,
saying,
direct-
like,
he directed the last thoughts in the deep end. So yeah,
we
Yeah,
should
we'll
keep
do it.
tabs on that baby pool.
yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
All right. That's going to do it for Hard Factor. Thank you guys for listening as always. Wex, thank you so much for that. I don't even know. I forget what you called it at the beginning, but it was just an amazing submission. Join us again on Barstool Radio at 11 a.m. Eastern for an amazing debate with Large, Za, and Pat of Barstool Breakfast. And then join us again for Gentleman's Friday. We're going to go on Barstool Breakfast tomorrow. We'll be talking with them from 9 to 11 a.m., doing some trivia on there. Go to SiriusXM.com for a free trial to literally double the amount of Hard Factor content that you're getting. I don't know if you guys saw. We saw on Twitter that we now are going to be doing 4 days a week on radio.
4 days a week
Pow!
on Sirius XM Radio. Take that.
Yeah, so it's
It's like
that's
the opposite. It's like the opposite of a breakup text. It was like
right. It
you're-
was like it's so on. It's
Yeah.
it's so on. I want you to 69 me in the face right now. That's how on it is, and that's what we're doing over at Barstool Radio. We're just getting it on all the time, and it's 53 minutes Monday through Thursday. So that's just literally you're doubling up Hard Factor content for free, and like the trial is free for months. So go to SiriusXM.com, get that free trial, double up on Hard Factor, and then tune in again tomorrow for Florida Man Friday with PFT Commenter. But most importantly, have a great fucking Thursday.